I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Patriots come away with a 7-point win. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Ravens pick up win number 12. The Giants won this contest, but will stay at the third place in the NFC East. Henderson stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Lamb hauled in over 150 yards receiving and helped his Cowboys beat the visitors. Down in the fun and sun of Jacksonville, we had the Jaguars lose by 6 points. Away team, Colts. Number 1 is probably thinking end zone, even though it's at the 24-yard line. They need just a little bit for the first down. There he goes down the sideline. One-handed grab for 6. The Colts win this one by the final score of 55-20. Up at Lambeau Field, we had the Packers lose by just a single point. The Buccaneers got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Tampa. The Bills won on the road and end their season on a high note. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Panthers win their 9th game of the year. The Vikings lost this one, but will stay at number 3 in the NFC North. Away team, Eagles. Number 21 is sometimes in no man's land, but you play the corner, you got to be tough. Reads it perfectly, picture perfect down the sidelines, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, 55-yard pick. The visitors go on to win this by the final score of 26-20. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
This guy is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 2 years, $1.4 million. Carter is on the move as well as he signs a 3-year contract with the visitors. This week had some big injuries, and we'll get to all of them, but we're going to start right here. Price sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. A hairline fracture of the arm is the initial report, and the doctors are saying he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. Phillips had to be placed on injured reserve, so he'll be on the sidelines for the rest of the year. Just a key blow to the heart of this defense. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Number 26 had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Number 8 ate up over 100 yards on the ground and helped his Broncos beat the home players. And in our final game, we had the Texans come away victorious.
All right, Boomer, thanks. All right, folks, our playoff picture has now been officially finalized. So let's take a look at it now, shall we? We'll begin with a look at the AFC. Meanwhile, let's take a look at how things stand over in the NFC. So there you have it, the regular season now in the books. Time to see which of these 12 teams will emerge as Super Bowl champs. We'll get it started for you on ESPN next weekend. And that'll do it from here. Chris, let's send it back over to you.
And then there were 12, the playoffs, right around the corner, which means it's time for our regular season awards. But first, my primetime players. The final round of game balls go to these Warriors, each with a standout performance in the final game of the regular season. All right, as promised, here's a look at this year's best of the best, our season-ending NFL awards. Young, without a doubt, is going to take home the hardware in this one. You see the numbers on your screen, but numbers really don't tell the whole story. Leadership, work ethic, love of the game, that's what truly makes him stand out. He had, without question, the best year of anyone. Number 9 has got to be our choice for Offensive Player of the Year, and you've got to be hard-pressed to find better numbers than that. Obviously, give a lot of credit to the rest of the offense, but this is the guy that was driving the car, so to speak. Number 90 gets the nod as our Defensive Player of the Year. I think when you look at this award, you think of guys that can really excel against either the run or the pass. But this guy can do both. What a year he had. Number 5 comes away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. You know, it's very difficult to come straight from college, be handed the keys to an NFL offense. But he stepped in and did a bang-up job. Watch out. He's only going to get better with age. Number 28 is our Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's hard to think of another defensive back the last few years that's come in and made this type of impact. He'll be something special down the road. Number 8 ran away with the rushing title this year. Talk about a threat out of the backfield, my friends. Finesse, speed, a surprising amount of power, which he used to bowl over the few who actually managed to lay a finger on him. What a year. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Giants edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. This week had some big injuries, and we'll get to all of them, but we're going to start right here. This guy won't see action for a while, and that'll be a big offensive loss for his team. X-rays revealing that a broken foot is the report. He'll be out for the playoffs. On to the serious news of the week. Gray is done for the year as he's been placed on injured reserve, and as the quarterback of the defense, his loss will certainly be felt. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Number 84 stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Titans pick up their 11th win of the year. And last but not least, we had the Colts come away victorious. And before we leave you on this special wild card edition of NFL Primetime, let's hand out a few game balls to our primetime players. That'll do it, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for joining us in the Bristol studios. We'll see you for the Division Championships here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Ravens clobber their way to a 35-point win. Johnson stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. And our only injuries this week are of the season-ending variety. Rodgers will miss the remainder of the year, and this is a big blow to this passing game because he was obviously a main target. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the visitors win their 14th game of the year. And in our final game, we had the Broncos come away victorious. So as the field narrows to 4, let's send out a few special playoff-sized game balls to this weekend's primetime players. That'll do it, everyone. I'm Chris Berman. Thanks so much for joining us in the Bristol studios. We'll see you for the conference championships here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Ravens edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey? And last but not least, we had the home players come away victorious. So before we embark on some serious Super Bowl hype, let's look back and dole out a few game balls for our primetime players from today's conference championships. 32 teams kicked things off back in September, each having this game as their ultimate goal. Only 2 teams remain. One team will stand alone as champions of the National Football League. I'm Chris Berman, and that just about wraps it up. Thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you for the Super Bowl here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.